Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. This is Brock Shimano. Today is Thursday the 13th, and we had export sales come out here this morning. If you look at the Firetip trading platform, you'll notice that we traded down sharply here for soybeans. Corn was also down, trading down 7 1/4 on the July contract. Beans for the July contract down 30.5 cents at the end of the day. Wheat in Chicago was the only one that closed off in the black here, up 2.5 cents, in Kansas City wheat trading up 2 cents. You know, Brock, we had export sales today. Maybe you could walk us through, were any of those numbers key in driving this market, or was it a result of outside forces?
You know, I think, for corn, we did see the export sales put a little bit of pressure. We missed the mark pretty badly there for old crop sales and for new crop sales, for that matter, on corn. Soybeans, we met expectations. Wheat, we came right within analyst expectations. So not big stories for soybeans or wheat. But, yesterday we did get the USDA WASDE reports. We did see revisions to all the old crop export sales figures. Corn, soybeans, and wheat all got revised a little bit lower here. So I think that's something we're going to have to keep in our minds as we move towards the end of the marketing year, especially for corn and soybeans. Wheat, we have moved over to the new marketing year for 13-14. We had pretty good sales for new crop wheat as we move forward here. But let's take a look at where we stand for corn and soybeans on the marketing year. If you take a look at this chart here, we've been following this marketing year. The red line is actually the seasonal pace to meet the current USDA projections, those revised estimates that we got yesterday. The blue bars are what we see for weekly totals. You can see we did fall just a little bit short for corn. On the year, we are about 10 million bushels ahead of pace of that new revised pace by the USDA. A little bit of different story for soybeans here. All year long we've been quite a bit ahead, although we have been falling back pretty substantially on the pace. We are ahead. Currently we're only about 54 million bushels ahead after we missed the mark here again this week. And that's a revised pace as well by the USDA. So we are starting to slow up quite a bit on soybean sales. Corn, we are just a little bit ahead of that revised pace that we saw.
Yeah, and I think another thing that really impacted the trade here today is we saw outside markets, we saw Asian markets really sell off significantly, and I think that really put some pressure, particularly on soybeans, as it is a major demand center for U.S. beans. So maybe we're going to want to keep an eye on how the Asian markets react or recover tomorrow. That may be able to bring a little bit of life back into soybeans if they can snap back. If they continue selling, we may very well see continued pressure on soybeans tomorrow as well. I guess we should probably take a step back here. And we had a WASDE report yesterday, and just let's take a look at where we stand technically. Fundamentally, it seems like it was a little bit more bearish report. But technically, Brock, what are you seeing for corn? Do you think that we're stable, we'll be in a range going into the end of the July contract, or do you think we could be directional?
Yeah, let's take a look at the corn July contract on a daily chart here. You can see that we've been trading mostly range bound for the better part of a couple months here. And I would anticipate it really that to continue as we move into the first notice day, which comes up at the end of the month here. There's not going to be a whole lot of new fundamental news to push us one way or the other. We have seen pretty good ethanol demand here recently. Exports have been pretty lackluster. USDA has revised that lower a couple times over the last couple months. So I would imagine that we're just going to continue to be mostly range bound as we head towards the end of the month here. But soybeans, that's actually quite a bit of a different story. If you take a look, yesterday we went up after that report came out. We did get a slight revision, or no revisions actually, to the ending stocks for old crop. And that really kind of pushed us up above that 1550 level that we were looking to test, actually. We got above it for just the time, but that really seemed to provide resistance as we head into the trade today.
Yeah, and I would agree. Let's just take a quick look at the December contracts here. You take a look at December corn, and you see that we were able to break out of this trend line, but really we've been hugging it. We've been coming back and hanging around. It's been providing some support. You'll notice that we were also able to kind of fill this gap that was printed here. I think there's a possibility that we could drift a little bit higher here. I think one of the major pieces of news that we're going to have to watch is the stocks report and the planted acreage report that will be coming out here June 28th, I believe. So pay close attention to that, because that, I believe, will provide a more directional move for this new crop contract. And I think soybeans is the same story. You'll notice here that we were able to break out. We're kind of on that high side of that resistance, that trend line resistance. We've pulled back. The 200-day moving average has acted as support, and we've been able to hold that 13 price level here today. I wouldn't be surprised if we test that again tomorrow, but there's a good chance. I think we're going to find a little bit of support down here. I think we'll be moving sideways here. I can't imagine an immediate directional move right now out of the price action we've seen.
Seems like we do have a lot of support around that 200-day moving average, $13 in the high side of that range. So I do think we will probably move just a little bit higher. I don't really see us moving a whole lot higher from here. You know, there is some resistance just a little bit above us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that pretty much wraps up today's show. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you have any questions about what we talked about, give us a call at 877-472-4607. And remember, there's really only about 2 weeks until that June 28th stocks and planted acreage report. And we're going to be running a special here for new accounts at Grain Hedge. So if you've been thinking about signing up for a discount futures and options trading platform, being able to execute low-cost trades for only $7 commissions per side, you can actually do that today. We'll refund you your wire and give you 4 free trades. Other than that, thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here tomorrow.